This week in Jamaica Now, it was a terrible sight. British-born schoolgirl killed in Clarendon. U.S. proposing new immigration changes. The corporate area water woes.
We understand the great level of frustration and the inconvenience this has caused in affected households and places of business.
Prime Minister proposes measures to ease the crisis. James Bond lead actor hurt while filming in Portland. And PCJ director faces parliamentary committee over his role in a controversial letter for a $10 million donation for a citizens group. I'm Damian Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaica was in anguish again this week with the murder of a third schoolgirl in 4 weeks. The decomposing body of 17-year-old British-born student Stefika Smith was found in an old cane field in Four Paths, Clarendon. The face was bashed in and the throat slashed. Smith was last seen on Saturday as she boarded a taxi. A taxi driver has since been arrested as cops probe the murder. At the crime scene, principal of the Maypen High School, Winston Preddy, said it was a terrible sight. He also said the student was very well behaved and bemoaned the prevalence of violence in Jamaica.
A boy comes to school with a knife. A girl walks on the street, she's not safe. Tell me what you're going to do. And we're going to go back to Parliament and we're going to pass some nice laws to take care of people's psychological affairs. And we are going to die one by one, and nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change until somebody allow the murderers to understand that there's a buck-up that you're going to buck up in the wall, and when you get at it, it's going to hurt you.
United States President Donald Trump has proposed a new regime for green card applicants. Under the proposed regime, a points system will be introduced and will give preference to younger, skilled applicants. Immigration experts say the categories of persons whose relatives could file for them to become U.S. residents will also be affected. The development comes as the U.S. scrutinizes the number of people overstaying their visas. Jamaicans are among them. It is reported that between October 1, 2017 and September 30, 2018, some 10,626 Jamaicans with B1, B2 U.S. visas overstayed their time in the U.S. This is a jump of 1,073 when compared with the corresponding period in the previous year, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says former Prime Minister Edward Seaga is in high spirits. Mr. Holness went to Miami, Florida on Wednesday to visit Mr. Seaga in hospital. He said during the visit, Mr. Seaga inquired about Jamaica's football. It is reported that Seaga has been seeking medical attention in Miami for the past 4 weeks. Seaga, who turns 89 this month, is battling cancer and related complications. He is Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister and the country's longest-serving Member of Parliament. He served as Prime Minister from 1980 to 1989. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and 2 of his bodyguards were involved in a motor vehicle crash on Wednesday morning. The crash happened about 5:45 at the intersection of Shortwood and Grandspen Roads in St. Andrew. The cause of the crash was not disclosed by the ministry. Chang and his bodyguards were taken to the University Hospital of West Indies and were examined. According to a ministry spokesperson, the security minister did not sustain any injuries. However, his bodyguards sustained minor injuries and were treated before being released. Daniel Craig, the lead actor in Bond 25, the James Bond film being shot in Jamaica, reportedly hurt himself while running in a scene during filming in Portland. Craig had to be flown out to the United States for x-rays and treatment, rest as well as recovery. The Sun newspaper says a source indicated that Craig, who insists on doing nearly all of his stunts, flew into a frustrated rage after the tumble. As a result of Craig's injury, reports said that the filming schedule for this weekend in London has been cancelled. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the corporate area water woes could worsen, and he wants the finance minister to increase the $100 million set aside to truck the commodity to people. Holness said the government would also be spending billions of dollars to increase storage capacity and provide greater security for the future. A key project to be undertaken is the construction of a $60 million water treatment plant at Rio Cobra in St. Catherine. The 24-month project has already been approved by the Public Sector Investment Management Committee. In the meantime, Mr. Holness says the NWC is short by 27 million gallons a day in the corporate area.
The NWC total installed water production capacity for Kingston and St. Andrew is 63 million gallons per day. However, current production levels from these systems are as follows. Constant Spring Water Treatment Plant, the capacity there is 18 million gallons per day, but it is only producing 8 million gallons per day currently. For the Mona water treatment plant, the capacity is 16 million gallons per day, and it is now only producing 8.4 million gallons. For the Hope water treatment plant, the capacity is 7 million gallons per day. It is now only producing 3.5 million gallons per day. For the Seaview water treatment plant, its capacity is 2.6 million gallons, and it is producing at capacity 2.6 million gallons per day. It's the only facility that is producing at capacity.
Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica Director Lionel Myrie has pointed the finger at late Councillor Owen Palmer as the person who asked him to forward 2 requests for donations totaling just over $19 million to the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam on behalf of 2 citizens groups in St. Catherine. Palmer died in a motor vehicle crash on March 4 last year. Myrie, who faced grilling by opposition members of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, steered clear of questions about whether he was acting in his capacity as a PCJ director when he emailed the request to the then Petrojam General Manager Floyd Grinley, or whether he was acting as an assistant to the then Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley.
In relation to the role I played in the matter you are investigating, I was simply a courier that was asked to pass on information, which I did. At this point, unfortunately, I can be of no further assistance as a result of the ongoing investigation.
And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, the Reggae Girlz in training for their final match before their departure for the World Cup.
Tactically, obviously we're looking at personnel right now to finalize the squad. Because it's not a FIFA week, we couldn't bring all the players in because their clubs wouldn't release them. But they'll be in the next event that we have next week, so we'll get to bring all those players in. But from a standpoint, the camp has been great so far. We have set a kind of a bar in our environment. The players have. So when new players come in, they fit right in.
Now, you've played Chile, you've played South Africa, 2 teams that will be at the World Cup. You play Panama this Sunday. Obviously not there, but what was the intention behind bringing Panama to Jamaica?
Well, obviously Panama is a team that we beat to get to the final. We thought that Jamaica needed to see that again. It was on TV, we feel we need to bring it here to the Jamaican public to come out and kind of understand what we've accomplished.